so glad you're here. I am Sarah Barnett from Simply STEAM. And if you are feeling even a little nervous about AI, like it might be too techy, too risky, or like it's coming for your job, I totally get it. But let me say this up front. AI is not here to replace teachers. It's here to take some weight off of your shoulders. If anything, it's like having a really smart intern who works 24/7, never needs a bathroom break, and won't side-eye you for that third cup of coffee. It helps with planning, brainstorming, and organizing your thoughts. And honestly, it saved my brain when I was drowning in deadlines and decisions. Today, I'm going to show you why you don't need to be afraid of AI, what ChatGPT really is and what it definitely isn't, and my favorite little formula, EEAS. No, this is not a 55 and up insurance plan. This is what makes writing prompts feel way less frustrating and a whole lot more effective. Now, I'm not here to sell you on some flashy tech trend. I'm here to show you how this tool can actually save you time, support your teaching, and help you to breathe a little easier without losing your voice or your values in the process. So let's get into it. Okay, so here's a little backstory because I didn't always have my ish together, if you know what I mean. I've been teaching since 2012, and for most of my career, I felt like I was playing catch up, especially when it came to planning, data, deadlines, all of it. I have this thing called ADHD, and I always felt like I had to try harder just to stay afloat. I'd have ideas bouncing around in my head all day, but getting them out in a way that made sense, that was the hard part. And listen, college did not prep me for the mental load of teaching, the constant pivots, the 5 IEPs due this week, the "can I talk to you for a second?" hallway chats that are never just a second. You know the drill. Then one night, I kid you not, I was so upset about the time it was taking me to do my lesson plans. And my friend was like, "Hey, have you tried using ChatGPT yet?" I had no clue what it was, and it was still like in its baby infancy stage. But she showed me, and it was like she shared a magic genie in a bottle. It was pure magic. And that was my turning point. AI didn't replace me. It helped me to breathe. And when I could breathe, I could show up better for not only myself, but for my family and my students. So no, AI won't make you less of a teacher. It's not cheating or anything like that, but it just might help you capture that tiny part of you that you may feel like you've lost. So let's talk about what this thing actually is. ChatGPT stands for Chat Generative Pre-trained Transformer, which sounds super high tech, but don't let the name scare you off. You don't need a tech degree to use it. And honestly, if you've ever typed something into Google, you're already halfway there. At its core, ChatGPT is a tool that takes your words, your prompts, and predicts what text should come next. That's it. It's basically a superpowered sentence finisher. It doesn't go digging through the internet. It doesn't know your classroom or your kids. It just looks at the patterns in what you say and tries to respond in a helpful way. But here's the part I love. You can train it by the way you talk to it. If you want it to act like a reading interventionist, say that. Need it to teach your students about photosynthesis using brain rot Gen Z slang? Tell it to do that too. You are always in the driver's seat when using ChatGPT. Now, is it perfect? No. Sometimes you're gonna get generic fluff, or sometimes it just makes up random stuff. But the more specific you are, the more helpful it gets. So don't think of ChatGPT like a teacher. Think of it like a first-year intern who's crazy fast, eager to help, and just needs really clear directions. When you give it the right guidance, it can save you so much time. So now you might be thinking, "This is great, Sarah, but where the heck do I get this magic genie?" Okay, it's super easy. Just go to chat.openai.com. That's where ChatGPT lives. You'll need to create a free account. There's a paid version called ChatGPT 4, and that has more bells and whistles. But the free version, ChatGPT 3.5, is still really, really good. Like, don't sleep on it good. It can do a ton. Once you've got an account, you can use it right in your web browser, on your laptop or your phone, whatever you've got handy. It's fast, it's flexible, and it doesn't need to be downloaded or installed, unless you do want to download the ChatGPT app on your iPhone or Android. But here's a pro tip. Bookmark this page on your desktop so that it's just one click away when you're knee-deep in lesson planning and running on caffeine. Seriously, it is that helpful. Now that you know where to find ChatGPT, let's talk about the oh heck no's. These are the hard lines, they are the non-negotiables, they are the please, for the love of sweet baby Jesus, don't get yourself in trouble rules. First up is privacy. Do not, under any circumstance, and I mean any circumstance, put your students' names, addresses, IEP info, or anything else that identifies a kid into ChatGPT. Not even Kaylee B, who has autism and sits near the carpet. Nope, none of that. Just keep it general. AI does not store your conversations permanently, but still, it's better to be safe than sorry. Let's talk accuracy. ChatGPT sounds super smart, but it's not always right. Sometimes it'll give you a date that's way off or cite something that doesn't even exist. It's called a hallucination. And yes, that's the real term. So always fact check before you copy and paste into a lesson or a newsletter. Another heck no, do not use AI to do all your thinking for you. It is a helper, not your brain. And if something feels off, trust your gut. Please don't hit publish without reading it out loud first. I can't tell you how many times I've caught something weird or robotic sounding that I missed when skimming. Also, don't be rude. I know it sounds weird, but the way you speak to AI actually shapes how it responds. If you get sassy with it, it'll get weird right back. So think of it like a two-way mirror. It reflects the energy that you bring to it. So those are your guardrails. Use ChatGPT with wisdom and boundaries and you will be golden. Okay, now that we've got the big oh heck no's out of the way, let's talk about the regular old don'ts. The things teachers accidentally do when we're first starting out with ChatGPT. First up, don't just copy and paste it without reading it first. Seriously, I know it feels magical, but sometimes it gives generic fluff or totally misses the mark for your kids. AI doesn't know your standards and it doesn't know your classroom. It's just guessing based on patterns, so you still have to use your best judgment. Next, don't assume that it's right just because it sounds confident. It's kind of like that student who gives you an answer with full-on eye contact and a head nod, and you almost believe them until you realize they just made it up. Check your standards, double check facts, especially dates, quotes, or anything that sounds too good to be true. Also, don't be vague. Help me with science is not a good prompt, so be specific. Act as a third grade teacher. Create a hands-on lesson on animal adaptations using recyclable materials. That's way better. The more detailed you are, the better your results. Bottom line, just don't treat ChatGPT like it's a magic wand. It's really more like a fast thinking intern. You still have to give it clear directions and check its work. Use your teacher brain first. AI can do a lot, but it still needs a really good boss. All right, now that we've covered the oh heck no's and the what not to do's, let's talk about what you should do, because this is where things get really fun. Do use the 80-20 rule. Let ChatGPT do the heavy lifting for the first 80%. Let it get the ideas flowing, help you organize your thinking, maybe even draft a rough outline. But you bring that final 20%, the teacher magic, the voice, the vibe, the context only you know. It's just like doing 80-20 with diet. 80% needs to be healthy foods and 20% can be whatever the heck you want, except kind of reverse. Do use your judgment. AI is a tool, not a boss, not a curriculum, and it is not a decision maker. You are the expert. You still decide what flies in your classroom and what gets tossed. Do train AI by how you talk to it. It is weirdly reflective. The more you use it, the better it understands how to help you. Think of it like your own teaching assistant who's just getting to know your style. They're probably going to start saying some of the same things that you say too. Do use AI to brainstorm. Whether you're stuck on lesson ideas, struggling with how to phrase an email, or need a quick anchor chart, ChatGPT can help you get started by brainstorming a list of facts or ideas. Do keep it conversational. You don't have to sound robotic or formal when you prompt it. Just talk exactly like you would to your best friend and you'll usually get the best results. And here's my favorite. Do the EEAS. Do the EEAS. Do the EEAS. What the heck is the EEAS? This is the writing prompt formula I'm about to teach you next. It's what helps you get way better results with way less back and forth. The biggest thing you should be doing right now is just start using it. Play with it, test, and experiment. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be curious. Okay, so get ready for this EEAS. This is the heart of the training that we are doing today. And if you leave with nothing else, I hope you take this with you. The EEAS is my go-to formula for writing actually good prompts, ones that give you better, faster, more accurate results. So here's what EEAS stands for. E is for expert, E is for examples, A is for ask, S is for specific. Let's break this down. E is for expert. Start by telling ChatGPT who you want it to be. This is a big one, so you don't just say, hey, help me write a lesson. You need to say something like, act as a reading interventionist for 2nd grade, or you're a classroom management coach who specializes in trauma-informed practices. You can role play almost anything. Seriously, here are some of my favorite expert roles. We have the gifted education specialist, ESL, ELL coach, conflict resolution manager, a well-known educational psychologist. You can also say you are a standards unpacking expert. Act as a curriculum designer. You are a gamification strategist. You are a children's book author. Yes, you are the next Patricia Polacco. Really, you can do that and it will sound very similar to her. Get specific with your role and it will give you answers that are way more relevant to what you're looking for. The next C is for examples. Now is where you give the AI your context. Don't make it guess what you want because it is not a psychic. Tell it the who and where behind your request. Give the AI information about your students. Tell them what standard you're working on. Give it articles or resources that you're using. If there's a specific research that you want to hone in on or highlight, give the research to the AI. And then share what kind of product you want at the end, whether it be a lesson plan, anchor chart, email, etc. If you already have examples that are completely done, give it to AI. You should say things like, here's the reading level, here's the worksheet I'm using, here's a passage I want to adapt. The more you feed it, the better it gets. But here's the thing, just do it in bits and pieces because you don't want to overwhelm it if you have a lot of examples. This is how we create hallucinations in AI. Too much information overload is really hard for humans to process, and it's also hard for our artificial intelligence robots to process as well. A is for ask. Now, this one might surprise you. But I always invite ChatGPT to ask me questions before we begin. Yes, you can and should do that. You could say something like, let me know if you need to see the article I'm referencing, or ask me what reading levels I'm working with, or would it help to know the materials I have available? You can also say, what other information do you need to know from me before we begin? This turns it into a conversation. It's not just a one-way task. And guess what? It's not only going to help AI, but it's also going to help you think more clearly too. Now, I usually always add my prompts with, read through this and reply, got it, when you're ready. It's like pressing a pause button so the AI can actually process what you just wrote. Plus, it gives you a little time to think about any other resources or examples that you might want to share. S is for specificity. This is the last one and maybe the most important. Be specific, like annoyingly specific. Yes, be that teacher. Tell it the tone you want, such as, I want it to be in a casual or formal tone. Give it the length you want. For example, I need 3 differentiated activities, 20 minutes each. Give it the audience, such as your grade level, your language level, IEPs, etc. Any prep or materials you have or don't have. Tell it how much time you've got to teach the lesson. And if it needs to include things like an essential question or an exit ticket, rubric, or whatever else, tell it. This helps ChatGPT stay on track instead of going full-on rogue. And don't be afraid to chunk your requests. Start small. You can start by saying, write a short text on the water cycle at a 3rd grade level. Let it generate the reading passage and then follow up with, now give me 5 comprehension questions that align with RI.3. Let it give you the 5 comprehension questions, and then after that, you could ask, now write an answer key and a 1-sentence summary. See how that works? There's baby steps throughout the process, so you don't have to dump it all in at once. Once you've trained your conversation, you can go back to it at any time to use it again without having to train it again. Just be mindful that if it's been a while since you've been in that conversation, you may need to copy and paste or reference some of the conversation that you've had with it earlier, just like you would reminding a colleague that you haven't seen in 2 weeks about the thing you talked about 2 weeks ago. You may also be familiar with vague goals versus SMART goals. It's kind of similar. AI loves prompts that give detail in a way that SMART goals do too. So here are some examples of vague prompts versus better prompts. Okay, let's top this training off with a few extra bonus tips for making excellent prompts. These are a few tricks that I use all the time when using ChatGPT. One of my favorite tricks is to use brackets. So I use brackets to organize your prompt like a checklist, and it helps ChatGPT read it better. So for example, you might want to bracket your standards, and then bracket your skill, and then bracket the scaffolded activities and answer key. If your ChatGPT starts hallucinating, just call it out. Say, hey, that's not accurate. Go ahead and try again. And it will literally fact check itself. Another trick is to use bullets instead of paragraphs in your prompt. It keeps the results organized and easy to skim. The biggest tip of all is don't ever give up if it messes up. Be specific, be patient, and remember it is a toddler with a PhD. It is brilliant, but it is sometimes really weird. Whew, that was a lot, but you crushed it. So let's do a quick recap of what you just learned. AI is not here to replace you. It's here to help you breathe again. ChatGPT is a tool. It is not a mind reader. The more you guide it, the better it works. You also learned the oh heck knows of what to do, of what not to do with ChatGPT. Things like keeping student info private, double check your facts, and never hit publish without a second glance. We also talked about the don'ts. Don't be vague with it, don't blindly trust it, and don't zone out while copying and pasting. Next, we discussed the do's. Use the 80-20 rule, trust your teacher brain, and talk to it like you would your friend. And now you've also learned my favorite tool, and you've got it in your back pocket. It is the EEAS, which stands for Expert, Explain, Ask, Specificity. That's your blueprint for writing strong prompts that save you time and actually work. Now, your homework today is simple but powerful. Comment with one expert role that you are excited to try using ChatGPT. It could be something like reading interventionist, a UDL coach, or something totally random and fun. I don't know, think outside of the box and surprise me. I'd love to hear it. Every comment equals one entry to win a free grade level bundle of math or grammar games, your choice. The winner will get to choose from my self-checking math or grammar games. These are the exact ones I use in my classroom to boost confidence and test scores in just 10 minutes per day. They are low prep, differentiated, and designed to feel like play, not punishment. I have these available for kindergarten through 5th grade, so you get to pick your bundle and your grade level. Think of a role that would actually help you this week and test it out. You'll be shocked how good it feels to have someone, even a bot, take something off of your plate. Well, you made it through day 1 like a champ. That's an A+ for me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.